I buy your pardon.
Who are you voting for mayor?
I like Cuomo, but I think Mondani might be pulling the lead a little bit with me.
What's your favorite example of socialism that's worked?
I don't have a big example of it, of socialism.
Like between Venezuela, Cuba, Soviet Union, what's your favorite one?
Man, you put me on the spot. I'm gonna have to go Cuba. Man, I'm gonna have to go Cuba. Yeah. Let's go there. It's just so complicated for me. I got so much information in my head, but I'm gonna go with that.
Do you think Mondami's the future of the Democratic Party?
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd probably go Cuba too. Now that we're thinking, what's the best socialist country to live in? I'd probably go Cuba for the beaches, right? The food's brutal, but the beaches are nice. Don't go into the city. No, don't go in the city. But the beaches are nice. Now, if we're talking about beaches in socialist countries, when I was on the cruise ship, we would get off on Margarita Island, which is right off the coast of Venezuela. And if you stuck to the beaches, it was actually quite nice. Don't go in the city, though. You want to stay out of the socialist cities in these countries, right? The beaches, pretty nice. Although Cuba's nice water, shitty food, though. Like, you want to talk about depressing, spend a week in Cuba and eat that food. Oh, my God. It changes your whole physiology. But Venezuela, too, you stay on the coast. You don't go into these socialist countries. Don't go too deep. But the beaches are nice. Now, also, don't fade Canada on a place to go. Speaking of socialism, don't fade Canada. I mean, in the summer, as long as the mosquitoes are gone, which they kind of are, it's not too bad. It's 2 weeks. Summer's 2 weeks in Canada. It's not. Don't go to Ontario. Obviously, you don't want to go there. It's kind of like going to India. You want to stay away from Ontario. BC's getting a little weird too. People are losing their houses there. You know, they took out mortgages, some 50-year mortgages, right? Only to find out that they don't actually own their house. And in concert, the government in concert with some of the indigenous reserves are just gonna, take them. And there's nothing they can do about it. But that doesn't mean socialism doesn't work, right? It just means they're going to have to figure it out. I don't know how they do it. But it's such a good idea, socialism. And I can't wait for people who really champion it to start contributing to the lower classes. I think that's what I'm really looking for. Like, for instance, we'll take care. We'll get to the price in a second. We talked about it. This one is particularly.
And what about the government-run grocery stores? Do you think that that's a model that could work?
Yes.
And
I
why?
think there's too many hungry people and too many potatoes here that are $5 a pound.
Yeah, you got to lower the prices.
Notice the conflation with things costing too much. And greed has nothing to do with dollar debasement. These people don't know dollar debasement, right? And most people don't know. They just think price goes up. It sells great, you goddamn food potato farmers.
Is there anything else about Zoran that gets you excited about him?
I'm excited that he gets young people excited, and I'm excited to see people standing in line, hopefully, to vote for something new.
And last thing, the number one comment I get on some of my videos is that socialism doesn't work. It's been tried many times. Why do you think it'll work?
This isn't social.
Honey, I'll mansplain this. That's the best part.
Socialism he's talking about, social democracy. Government should work to encourage people to thrive and be successful. Everybody thrive. It shouldn't be a matter of it should be equality, not supremacy. It should be a matter of bringing everybody up, and not just having a few people with entirely too much money.
I can't wait to see these people start contributing to socialism, because they're not going to be able to stay in their house, right? Their house is too big. It's worth too much money. There's too many people starving, too many homeless people, but they're going to be super excited to start contributing. Doesn't matter if they work their whole life for their house, their little nest egg, these boomers and their nest egg, they're going to have it redistributed. And that's the beauty of it. That truly is the beauty of it. I can't wait to see that. I pulled a prank on the dad lately. My dad's like as woke boomer as you can get. I said, hey, he came over. I'm like, hey, I got some good news. They asked me if I knew any senior citizens who would want to give their house to immigrants, just temporary. And I was like, yeah, my dad, he goes away actually for about 6 months of the year. And his house literally sits empty. So I signed you up. They're probably going to, and at this point, he's like, because you got to remember, like, they're gullible, right? He actually thought this. He's sitting there going, you did not. He got so mad. Like, what are you getting mad for? You don't even use your house, and you want, you're all for immigrants coming in. We can use your house. You're gone 6 months. God, there's like 1, 2, 3. There's 4 bedrooms, 2 levels, and no one in there. We could probably house a dozen immigrants, if not 3 or 4 families. And think about that. Think about how much you're helping with your earned wealth. You earned it. You learned. You worked all your life, but now you can give back. 6 months of the year, house. What's the worst that can happen that year? He absolutely freaked out. But it's a good lesson for him. Did he learn anything? No. Once it was a prank, it was like, oh, don't scare me about that. That's crazy. Here's another one. This is great too.
Link, I can get you on. So you get on CommieCon, and once you get
I think he said CommieCon or CommieCard. It's a club.
you get your CommieCon, I can send you a referral link. I can get you on CommieCon. Once you get on
When he says referral link, does that mean whoever clicks on that link, he gets some money? Because that would be wrong too, right? Based on the setup for him to, benefit from any affiliate links, that's weird.
CommieCon, everything in the whole fucking shits will be free. Okay, you go to any store, anything.
Communism. What attracts you to communism?
What attracts me? Just free. I like when everything's free and I don't have to do anything. That sounds like a dream to me.
Anything free in particular you're looking forward to if Mamdani wins?
Free hookers, free fucking prostitutes, free fucking flaming hot Cheetah, free Jägermeister, free fucking Marlboro menthol.
Now, at this point, you got to be asking yourself, this is maybe a parody, right? And he's trolling? Could be.
Fucking Newports, all that shit. That would be it. Like any all of that shit. I mean, I do anything. I'll take what I can get. I'm not going to be picky. If I can't only get some, then fine.
So if you go back to when socialism was basically ended. Now, it never really ends because, people always bring it up. And the farther you get away from it, the more attractive it seems. But it's around 90, 91, 92 is when there was a lot of countries in the Eastern Bloc, Europe, that was under the Soviet Union, USSR, right? So they were de facto socialist countries. But once that was ripped away, they ripped away as well. And the problem is that, so 91, what is that, 35 years? That's a generation away, right? So an entire generation grew up not knowing anything about it. Obviously, you're not taught about that in school. Why would they teach you about that? Got better things to teach you about, and especially in Canada, but don't get me started on that one. And so they 25 or 30, and they see that, life isn't fair, and they demand fairness. I get it. But as you get older, you kind of realize that life isn't fair and never will be fair, no matter how hard you try to make it fair. So for instance, just a simple example of maybe how much you care about your health. So when everything's redistributed and there's equality, how does that happen with, when we see what is it called? SNAP, the SNAP benefits, or I don't know what it is. in United States, the food stamps, right? You see these massively obese people, usually black, complaining that they don't get their food stamps, which I can understand that. But imagine what would they do when they only get the same amount of food stamps as, say, the other 50% of not obese people, right? That can't work. There's a pecking order to life. No matter how equal things are, that's not how humans human. We have pecking orders just like chickens in a farm. And no matter what, we will form them somehow. Just the idea that someone like a capital allocator, no one allocates capital better than a government, of course, right? So let's just leave it all to them. They can do no wrong. They never have done wrong. And eventually they'll get it right eventually. But, you got to have a low time horizon with socialism. Did it fail every time so far? Yeah. Doesn't mean it can't work. We just got to keep hammering away at it. And now I actually think we live in the illusion of capitalism, especially in Canada, but even in the States. As long as there's a Fed, it's not really capitalism. I mean, you could maybe squish it into crony capitalism to a certain degree, and that would be your best case scenario. But it's not free market capitalism, because if it was free market capitalism, all the banks would go down, for one, and then you would have the cascading effect. Then the market would pick up certain assets at 10 cents on the dollar, and then it would build and build and build and build. And that's kind of the premise. Imagine like supply and demand. So, with the grocery stores in New York being government run, it's just because it's never worked doesn't mean it can't work in New York. With the new mayor, I'm not sure he became mayor. Is it over, or is it still happening today? Like, is it not done? Chadwick, they're obese because let me see, where is this? How far up is that? There it is. They're obese because they use EBT on processed foods, because allegedly they work multiple minimum jobs, so they can't come home at 7 to start cutting potatoes and grilling steak. Yeah, they do look like they work multiple jobs, that's for sure. I think one of the problems is that they're allowed to use those stamps on anything. Like, so correct me if I'm wrong. Can they go there with, $1,000 worth of food stamps? I don't know how much they get, and buy Kit Kats or buy Long Johns or apple fritters? Like, could they clear the bakery out of apple fritters or are there restrictions? Because if there's no restrictions, then humans are going to human. Inviable Trader says you can buy anything but hot food. Anything but hot food. Interesting. Why hot food? Why not hot food? Like those chickens in a bag would be considered hot food. You know what I'm talking about? They kind of sit under the heater for days on end. Hot chickens in a bag. Yeah. So as soon as I imagine the pecking order. Imagine the pecking order of people that enjoy, say, exercising and eating healthy, getting the same amount as people that are obese and never exercise, or vice versa. I mean, it's kind of like my makeup analogy with pretty girls. 6s tell 9s to wear more makeup. 9s put on makeup, they come down to 7. 6s put on makeup, they go up to 7. So it kind of equalizes. So if you have like food distribution equality, these obese people will, it's not like they're going to give the same amount of food to these healthy people. Then I know what would happen. Let's go down that highway. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. But let's say equality was all the obese people, no matter how much they got, everyone else got. So now you have these people who have a surplus of food stamps. What are they going to do with it? I know they can do with what some of these obese moms do. They actually sell the food stamps. Almost like a black market type of thing. E-money, some girl was buying a $40 steak in front of me as I as I was buying a $14 one. Pretty depressing. Well, you should be happy about that. That you worked, you paid taxes. Now remember, the government doesn't give them the money. The government extorts money from you and gives. So at that point, where do you draw the line with socialism if you're paying for a bunch of other people to eat? Essentially, that is, to a certain degree. Jimmy Coco, that's funny, yeah. 7. The new makeup line by pianomattyb. Are you a 9? Now you're a 7. Are you a 6? Now you're a 7. Are you a 4? You'll never be a 7, but you could be a 6. Coming soon. 6. Makeup line by pianomattyb. Yeah, that's what. Let's take a look at this price. I know everyone's super excited about the price action, right? Who wouldn't be? We talked about this. This 104 was weighing on my soul back from this bear flag. Now, we broke out of the bear flag, tried to recover, got rejected, minced words all weekend, and then continued our downward prowess to a 104, I think, wicking down to 103.6. Now, I remember saying this last time. I don't want to put this number in. Because these doodles got him out. These doodles. So let's not do worst case. Let's go from here. Now, we would still have to mince words down at this 104 to, build out this bull flag. But let's just put it like this. We'll do more of a bull pennant. Yeah, let's change it up. Bull pennant. And now, in order to find the probabilities where this price action might take us with this bull pennant, you take the bull, you slide it all to the breakout point. Let's put it at 104. Then we're all at 97.3. I'm going to adjust it to some astrological numbers to make it 98 because you don't fade 8s, right? This is where Asia comes in. And, that would put us right around this channel of descension that, it's pretty lonesome channel of descension. I thought we were over it. But it goes back. How much time did we spend in this channel of descension? Oh, yeah. Pretty decent amount of time. Yeah, our first high, we kind of sat down. That's what created it. Broke out of it. And then now we're kind of back into it. So it makes sense to ride this low down at 98. Now, I get so fixated on 8s now because of Asia. They love their 8s. Infinity, right? So they're very superstitious. They're a bunch of superstitious little so-and-sos over there. And they like to make their entries and exits on 8s. So look at 98 to hold. And of course, if 98 doesn't hold, it'll be 88, right? And 88 is that magic number because it's 30% from 126. Am I right at that? Did I screw that up? Have I forgotten my mincing math words? Let's go from the top to 88K. I never get it enough. Oh, I lost my indicator somehow. Somehow I touched something and the indicators are gone. That's okay. They're not really telling us anything we don't already know. And that's the lesson that I'm trying to. 88 is, 30% exactly, right? So that would make sense to a full restore of that. But at that point, I mean, most people would have packed their bags. If they haven't packed their bags already. If they haven't packed their bags, they're, it's 6 a.m. and they're in the guest house and they're like, I got to get out of here. So maybe their bags aren't packed yet. But at 88K, that would be a nice, almost poured the coffee on the old rodecaster. I almost got scammed by a rodecaster, actually. Interesting. This is a good lesson because there's something seducible. Every human has a seducible point, the art of seduction, right? So I get, 4 or 5 emails a day about affiliate links, Bitfinex, you name it. You name the exchange, I've got the affiliate link partnership, right? I don't do it because I don't want to make money off the backs of people losing money. There's something kind of karmically wrong with that in my books. But the scammers found my seduction point. I got an email from Rhodes, which I use the Rodecaster Pro 2 and I use the Rodecaster Mini at the piano bar. Good piece of tech for streaming. And it said, we would like to do a partnership with you. Can you make some videos on Rodecaster? I'm like, I could probably integrate that. So I clicked on a couple buttons and it took me to based on your subscribership, we will tell you which equipment you can have put in your YouTube channel. So I cut and paste the YouTube channel, and it said you are eligible for all these. And they showed me a lot of nonsense, like when you see those TikTokers with holding that little square, those are Rhodes mics, they're Bluetooth mics and whatever. But they had something like all-in-one streamer. It was Rhodes.sponsors.com. Everything seemed legit. Even the email was from Rhodessponsors.com. But here, now as if you already know it's a scam, so it's easier to see these red flags. But when you're being seduced, you don't look at the red flags, right? So I'm like, oh, this is great. I can actually, do some sponsored videos on gear I use. That's what I would do if I were to ever take somebody on. And then it got to check your compatibility for your computer's compatibility. It has to be on a PC. That was the biggest red flag that I overlooked, because here I am on my Mac using Rhodes, right? I know the compatibility. Rhodes is compatible with Mac. And in fact, they would be out of business if they weren't. But, part of the seduction is like wanting it to be true. And so I was like, I don't have a PC in the house. I don't have any PCs in the house. So it goes away, right? And then it comes back. Hey, are you still interested in this? I'm like, yeah, I'm still interested. So I do the things and I get to the compatibility thing. I'm like, I don't have a PC. I know, though, my brother-in-law has one. So I will get in my car, drive, and use his computer. Now you can see where this is going. And then I'll find the compatibility, even though I already know the Mac's compatible, right? And so I go there and I'm typing in my info, not anything drastic, but enough to get 6 texts a day from, hey, how's it going? All these, that's what I'm getting now every day. And that's the worst that happened. Great. But as I'm typing stuff in, he's grokking. Are there any Rhodes scams going on with YouTubers? Click. Why, yes, there is one. It's usually smaller. They're targeting smaller channels to do videos to promote their gear. They ask for this, and this, and a compatibility check. And I'm almost done, right? And he's like, hey, duh. I'm like, oh shit, right? And then you can imagine how stupid I felt. Like this is why when I hear people getting scammed in crypto, I do have sympathy for them, because if you don't know enough, you're going to get scammed, period. But even, this wasn't crypto, but it was still, my seduction buttons were hot and bothered. And I was willing to, suspend my disbelief for a bit. Anyway, he had to take his computer into where he worked, and IT had to wipe it because there was something on it, some sort of like the Nothing from, what is that movie called? The Never Ending Story. Remember The Nothing? It's just there was this thing in it that was growing, and it was tied to the mainframe of where he was working. So Never Ending Story. And so they wiped it, and all's well, right? But you can see how that can happen to someone who's such a smart cookie like myself. Now we're seeing continued bearish action here, which is Okay, so we could get some support too here at the 103 mark. Do we have anything else? I don't want to paste anything. Do we have anything else? We have this. Is this a wick? Yeah. So 103 is that old wick. That which once wicked will get candlesticked. Oh, those pesky little brats. So, I mean, if we get a bounce at 103, we'll all know that's because of this wick, right? Case closed. Is there any more? Yeah, you can see we spent a lot of time here mincing words. This was back in May, and then it became support, dipped underneath it to 100. Keep that in mind. Then back up to 103, and then we hit it all the way down. Is that a wick? What's going on here? Don't want to touch anything. Yeah, oh, that's a wick there at 98. So there are these key pleasure buttons in the market that are easily seduced. The 103 easily is seduced, and 98. Now I'm hoping 103 gets a bounce. We'll see in market open in about 3 minutes or so. Within 15 minutes, we'll kind of know if 103 is going to stick or not. If it doesn't, I would imagine 98. We go to 98, which is a hop, skip, and a mood swing away. It's real, like from 103. Just so you don't know how, you don't think it's so devastating. 103 to 98 is not even a 5% dip. Now, a 5% dip is nothing, but the headline's worse. 98 under 100K. That's it. It's under 100K. That's it. It wouldn't be good for morale, but there's no morale to be had. It's like the fans in the crowd are gone in the stands. They're gone. It's an empty arena. It's just us out here. You know, you shoot a basket and it's nothing but air, silence. So even if the price went up, you're not going to get more fans in this bull run arena. So you want to put that as a bearish feather. I would think you could actually go to, like, let's see some of these. Where's my predictions here on the upside? Multi-sig dummy had 135 prediction, 35 days out. Well, it came pretty close. I mean, here's where he thought it would be, and it went to 2 weeks later went to 126. Hey, that's not bad. Pretty close. Where's the my bigger upsides? That's the ding dong. Maybe it's on the weekly. Yeah, 138. Like if we got to 138, no one's coming in the arena. No one's buying tickets to the show anymore. Even 143, no one's buying tickets to the show. 155, you might get a few people in the stands, but that's on a discounted ticket, maybe a 2-for-1. Maybe if you buy one, you get a second ticket and you get a foot-long hot dog and maybe the worst draft beer you could ever have. You get some of those in at 155. Do we go bigger? 183. Now, it's a full-price ticket. It's still a quarter full. So we turn the arena into a bowl. You know, when the concerts come and they don't sell enough tickets, they turn it into a bowl and they market it as, oh, it's a bowl now. You'll like it. It's smaller, right? And 190, this was my prediction, 190 end of August. Now, these upside predictions are way off because we're in November now. 190, we're still in a bowl. We haven't opened up the arena. They're still not really retail. I would still say maybe a discounted ticket too, but still half full, half fill tops. Now, where do we get super bullish here? Right here, 230. pianomattyB's new bull run target, 230. $100,000 less than it is now. We'll see. You know how the crazy thing is about Bitcoin is that shit happens so fast. You know, like with all these crazy dumps where it's over, everyone's like screaming bloody murder. And then we just like in a day or two, we go up 20K, You know, are those days over? I don't know. I don't know. And anyone who says they do is completely lying and speculating. That's what I've learned in these 2 cycles, is that the grift here on YouTube is about bullish sweet nothings, right? A lot of the channels that have these bullish sweet nothings do really well. I get it, because it kind of makes you feel good. You know, it's not over, right? But they're always wrong. You know, they're always wrong. And a lot of these big channels actually had affiliate links too. So not only were they wrong about it, but they made money on the downside as people started to put in desperate longs with leverage. Cha-ching. So now we're going to hit 103 on this stream. Maybe this is a weekly. It's 103.4 over on Bitfinex, which is always a little wonky for some reason. The oracles. Damn, these oracles, they can't get their shit together, can they? Yeah, we went down to 103.5. Will we get the bounce at 103? Should be interesting. That ticker says 103.5. But, you know, you think we could, maybe Chainlink will, you know, explode once it kind of fires on all cylinders. Now, how that works is beyond my pay grade. I honestly don't know. Take a look at some quick metrics here. Fear and greed, 27. Now, how low could, so imagine this, if it's 27 now, and let's just go into a bear market from here, right? Let's go down to 88K or let's make it even worse. Let's go down to 60. We'll be at 60K, and I would say the fear and greed would be at 8 or 9, which would then get me excited about the next bull run, I suppose. Yeah, once fear and greed is so low now that this, arguably, it's a good metric to buy. Now, it can go lower because what happens is that we start dogpiling into sentiment. Woe is me is a contagion. Oh, woe is me, right? Look at this, 4 days of outflows. I would almost say it's been a couple weeks, couple of business weeks of outflows. Doesn't mean it can't come around. Well, here we are, 103.4. Let's see. We'll see if we can get down to 103 and get that bounce. These are a couple of healthy red candles on the old 4-hour chart. Not going to mince words on how healthy they are. We'll see. I mean, what you going to do? Watch a chart all day. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.